Today, we're talking about the stuff that is missing from Counter-Strike 2 that was present in Global Offensive. And no, I'm not going to be one of those people who gives you a list of things like 128 tick or like, oh, the movement's a little bit off, because I think that although that matters at the pro level, I want to talk about the casual experience, and I want to be a little bit biased in the sense that I'm going to talk about the stuff that got me into CSGO that I think isn't available for casuals in CS2. Of course, I'm not going to make a video about missing features without talking about Danger Zone. I know that when it came out, it was a little rough around the edges and not a whole lot of people played it because there was just so much value in the core experience of CS and there's stuff like operations and all that. But I think having modes like this at all shows you that the developer really cares about that casual experience. Danger Zone offered a way to play a mini battle royale setting and was actually quite creative in how you could use alternative utility and buy all sorts of dumb items that was perfect for casuals. Unfortunately, hackers, a lack of interest after the first few months, and developer neglect in that overall experience meant that that mode pretty much died before it was actually removed in CS2. And I personally never played it too much, but having the option to play that with some casuals or like play it with my friends who weren't that into the core experience of the game made the game a little bit more accessible to the casual experience, which is going to be the theme of this video going forward. And I mean, while we're on that subject, where's Flying Scoutsmen? Come on, I liked playing it, even though I was getting destroyed by hackers. Now, this next feature is the one that matters to me the most personally. Even though it seems like a small feature, I can't believe that despite Counter-Strike 2 having a much better demo viewer and a much faster experience of watching old games, we lost the ability to spectate live games in our friends list. And this feature was one of the biggest reasons why I got into CS to begin with. So, here's a little story. Back when I was little, I was playing this game called Rust Legacy back in like 2013, 2014, and one of the players that kept destroying me just had ungodly aim. And when I asked him how he got there, or how he got so good at the game, he just told me that he was GE on CSGO, and that those words just didn't make any sense to me at the time. Then I downloaded the game at some point, and I spectated him live, and the fact that his time to kill was so much faster than me, and so much faster than anything I had ever seen before, it encouraged me to get good at the game, and being able to view that gameplay within my own client is what encouraged me to try it. And the truth is, competitive games are fun because there's a bit of a pissing contest to who's the best in your friend circle, or just getting better against the global population. But not being able to spectate anyone in your friends list makes it less fun to be the biggest fish in your respective pond. And what people forget about is that this was connected to another feature where your random game that you're playing at 3 a.m. with your boys could just pop up on the watch page for everybody's game, which means that 1,000 people could decide to tune in to your random midnight matchmaking game. And I think that being able to see 1,000 viewers on the top right of your scoreboard would give you an adrenaline rush, which would give you a tiny glimpse of what it's like to play in front of a crowd, and I think that just enhanced the competitive appeal of the game. Also, I'm not sure how other people feel about this, but I really liked the ability back in CSGO to watch the games, watch the biggest matches of the year from my own client on my own settings. And the reason for that is that as a casual, it felt a little bit more accessible, and my experience of the game felt closer to the pro scene if I could just view it within my own client. And you could also hear the commentary while you're watching from within the demo viewer. That's not a thing anymore. Next up, I want to talk about operation missions, and you know what? I do Counter-Strike for a living because I'm a commentator and I am very involved with the esports scene. And although I have a lot of fond memories of the casual experience that I had with matchmaking or just even watching the pro scene, some of my best memories are dicking around with my friends on casual maps, playing 1,000 rounds of insertion, and just playing dumb game modes. I don't want to get into the specifics of operations, but I think what matters is that having events in CS that aren't just about pumping skins gives you a sense of community. Logging on to know that all of your friends are grinding away on the same missions and operations and checking off progress that isn't just gathering stupid stars for the armory made me look forward to playing the game a little bit more with my friends. And it made me feel like playing the game even when I wasn't in the mood of strictly just trying to rank up or grind skins. By the way, if you're enjoying this, I've been trying to grift money out of sponsors, so your subscription would help with that. Back to the video. Buy menu restrictions. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? Okay, so if you're new, CSGO let you buy whatever the hell you wanted, with a couple of exceptions where, you know, you would have to maybe choose between the A4 and the A1S, which was big, but it's not a whole deal breaker. Now, you're locked into your selection for the entirety of the game. And I think in theory, it's supposed to make the game a little bit more competitively reliable by treating picking weapons kind of like picking heroes in a MOBA, so that the gameplay is a little bit more predictable. But this isn't a MOBA. Take the shotguns, for instance. They're a lot better as a one-off surprise. Take the dualies. They're mostly the best on the pistol round, and you might never want to use them again for the rest of the game. Having more options encourages more odd plays that only happen once in a game. It encourages entertainment value, and that's good for casuals, and it's good for the pro scene. And I think being able to buy anything you want also makes those weaker buys a little bit better when your opponents have more threats to worry about, even when you're up against an eco or just an odd buy. I know this is a little bit up for debate, but I'd rather have the option to just be able to buy anything. Oh, and while we're talking about options, if we have all these dumb missions where you have to get like 15 auto sniper kills or something, and you have to grind stars, why don't they give us the option to have a great feature back, which is called the Overwatch system, and grind stars or grind in-game rewards like that instead? I'd much rather do cheater homework than get 70 kills with some stupid weapon in deathmatch. Please, just let me have that option. More features that shouldn't have been changed at all, because whoever added the per map ranking system has actual brain damage. Seriously, there was nothing wrong with having a single rank across the entirety of the map pool. I think other than the fact that people would grind to global only on Office. Office globals was a whole different thing, okay? Let's not even talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Also, not having consolidated ranks means that it simply takes more time to calibrate to the rank that is more suitable for your skill level, which means that if you come from Premier or Face It, it's gonna take you forever, and you're gonna keep stomping noobs over and over and ruin the experience for hundreds of players before you finally get to the rank where things are going to even out. And then repeat that process 12 times over for all the other maps. This is really stupid. Okay, this one's just fun, but can we please have the adrenaline rush of screaming at your opponents back in the game? Like please?
Du kleiner verfickter Hurensohn, geh deine Mutter ficken! Du verfickter Hurensohn, ich hab deine Mutter gefickt, du Arschloch!
I mean, it seems like a small detail, but knowing that there are actual human beings on the other side of my screen that would either be getting upset or talking shit if they beat me gave the game a little bit more purpose. The stakes were higher, and I would feel like finishing the game strong if someone was talking shit in the halftime. It's nothing like that anymore. The game feels a little soulless. Matchmaking games don't feel like much of a competition anymore. And I know some of you think that that could encourage toxicity, but the mute button would still exist, and that could be paired with a button to just mute the enemy team's voice comms by default, so you can choose to partake. This feature's a no-brainer, it's a win-win, and if they added this to CS tomorrow, I would open 20 cases to thank the developers. I know I've outgrown most of the casual features, and I still wouldn't be interacting with them that much if they were available, but I care about the health of the game, and I care about the casual to pro scene pipeline where people then eventually turn into consumers that support the pro scene. That's how I got into the game, and that's how friends around me and some of my little cousins are still getting into the game. But it's much harder to convince people now to care about, like, let's say the pro scene in CS, because the core casual game isn't very appealing until you get good. Now, I know this wasn't exactly an exhaustive list of everything missing from CS2 that was present in CSGO, but I just wanted to talk about the features that I think matter to the casual experience, because that will contribute to the longevity of the game. You can only have people care about the pro scene and care about esports in the future if there are casuals coming into the scene at a steady rate. Now, it's impossible to have the full conversation in one video, so if you think there's something I missed that matters to how fun the game is, I would love to hear it in the comments.